I'm sick of the lies. The lies. The lies the mainstream sports media tells you Bron fanboys to make you believe LeBron James is the GOAT. He not the GOAT, dog. He not the GOAT. How many times I gotta prove that, dog? How many times I gotta prove that? You see what I'm saying? Y'all be acting like LeBron is the greatest. Like LeBron is the first of his kind. Dog. Come on, dog. If you knew basketball, if you knew your history, dog, come on, man. Y'all want to talk about a GOAT. Y'all want to talk about a GOAT, dog. You see what I'm saying? Who do y'all want to talk about? Y'all want to talk about a rookie of the year, you know. When he came in the league, he was a rookie of the year. He played for the Cavaliers. He played for the Heat. He played for the Lakers. He won 4 championships. He has tattoos and he big, he's strong, and he basically based his whole offensive game off of bumping people out of the way and scoring at the rim. You see what I'm saying? He's a guy who got swept in his first ever NBA final. First ever NBA final he went to, he got swept. You know, a dude who was just known for losing until he got the right pieces around him. You know, he left and went to another team, and then he got the right pieces and the right coach to win multiple championships. You know what I'm saying? Then when he got tired of playing there, he went to another team and won. You know what I'm saying? A guy who held the Lakers franchise hostage with all his demands and had the Lakers trying to go out of their way, you know, to meet all his demands, but it's hurting the success of the team. You see what I'm saying? Shaquille O'Neal. Yep, I'm not talking about LeBron. I'm talking about Shaquille O'Neal, dog. Yeah. Yeah, dog. You know? Shaquille O'Neal and LeBron James are very similar, dog. They have a lot of similarities. You see what I'm saying? This is like history repeating itself. But y'all don't pay attention to that because y'all don't know basketball. You don't know the history of the game. You don't know what kind of players already been in the NBA. You see what I'm saying? But you same Bron fanboys who are all like, oh, LeBron, he's the GOAT, he's the GOAT, he's the GOAT, are the same people who be like, oh, Shaq, he's the most dominant, he's the most dominant, he's the most dominant, he's the most dominant. Dog, do you not realize LeBron called himself the GOAT? He was never the GOAT. That's what he called himself. And then everybody start hopping on and being like, yeah, well, I could probably see that. What kind of narrative, what kind of story can I twist to make that seem like it's true? And Shaq, he was the one who said he was the most dominant. That was Shaq's own personal claim of himself. He called himself the most dominant player. You know, the most dominant big man. That's a category he created for himself. He called himself that. And then people start coming in, chiming in. Oh, well, that could make sense. How can I twist the narrative and the story to make it seem like, yes, he is the most dominant big man of all time? You see what I'm saying? Both guys who were arrogant, both guys who made their own selfish claims, without knowing the history of the game, without knowing the history of the greats who came before them. Shaq is not the most dominant big man of all time, and LeBron is not the GOAT. You see what I'm saying? But y'all listening to their loudmouth arrogance, and y'all be trying to co-sign on it just because they said it. Not because it's true. You see what I'm saying? Not because it's true, but because they said it. Michael Jordan never called himself the GOAT. You see what I'm saying? Never called himself the GOAT. And he didn't have anybody trying to say, oh, well, he called himself the GOAT. Let's see how we can twist the narrative and the story to make that true, since he claimed it. He never claimed that. That was all the witnesses, all the people who watched him play, all the amazing things that he did throughout his career compelled everyone to look at him and be like, that dude's the GOAT. You see what I'm saying? That dude's the GOAT. You see what I'm saying? He didn't set up no narrative. He didn't throw it out there by making the claim himself. You see what I'm saying? He didn't go to the media and say, yeah, I'm the best. You know, I'm the GOAT. You know, that made me the greatest. When I three-peated before I retired the first time, that made me the greatest player of all time. I felt like it made me the greatest player of all time. He never said that. You see what I'm saying? He never made a GOAT claim. All the people who watched him, all the people who knew the history of the NBA, they knew nobody was on his level. And we all felt compelled to say, that dude is the GOAT. I don't care what you say, Michael. When people say I'm the GOAT, or when I hear about that, it makes me cringe. It makes me cringe because it's different eras, and we don't care if it makes you cringe, dog. You the GOAT. You the GOAT. Whether you were comfortable with it or not, whether it makes you cringe or you fully accept it, we don't care. We know what we know. We saw what we saw. You see what I'm saying? Whether you want to accept it or not, we all know what happened, dog. You see what I'm saying? You didn't have to make the claim. You didn't have to say you were the GOAT for us to open our eyes and be like, well, it's possible. Let's think about it. How can we twist the narrative to make sure that he is the GOAT? That never happened. We started making that claim. The people, once we realized what was going on, once we realized what you were doing, you see what I'm saying? Ain't had nothing to do with no personal claim. But this whole thing, this whole GOAT debate started up by LeBron because he not in the GOAT conversation. He not. So he had to force himself into the conversation without doing any of the things, meeting any of the requirements. You see what I'm saying? Of all these all-time great players who came before him. Same with Shaq. He claimed he was the most dominant center, the most dominant big man of all time, without meeting any of the requirements for all these dominant big men that came before him. You see what I'm saying? He made the claim. He forced himself into that. He forced that into a debate. And the media, they just take those things and run with them. They go, yeah, wait, hold on, most dominant? Okay, how can we twist the narrative and the story? How can we give him a case? How can we give him a case now that he made that claim? That's more news. That's something for us to report. That's something for us to talk about. Because we ain't really got nothing to talk about. None of us understand the game enough to talk about anything of importance. We just like narratives and stories, and we need stories. You see what I'm saying? That's what the media does. That's what sports media does. Always talking about some narratives. Always talking about, oh, this happened in the locker room. Oh, did you know that this happened and that happened? They always want the story. You see what I'm saying? But these guys are not known for bringing facts. You see what I'm saying? Straight up facts. Straight up facts. They're not known for, dog. When does the media just straight up tell facts? Just spit non-stop facts on what's going on without some sort of narrative or some sort of bias, some sort of agenda, some sort of ulterior motive, some sort of thing they're trying to focus on that's going to generate revenue. You see what I'm saying? That's what they're about. Stories. Stories get attention. Attention gets money. You see what I'm saying? Stories get viewership. You know, we need stories. We need narratives. And look what we got. We got actual NBA players giving us narratives. Giving us narratives for us to run with. So we got to activate our narrative generation. You know what I'm saying? We got to start generating our narratives. We got to start activating our narrative machine. You see what I'm saying? So we can have some stories that we can report and we can get some more attention and we can get some more money and keep ourselves relevant. We got to keep ourselves relevant from narratives. We can't just tell it like it is. You see what I'm saying? Out of fear that if we tell it like it is, we might turn some people off. We might make some people question our brand. We might make some people question professional sports, professional basketball. You see what I'm saying? If we literally went out there and just said, Michael's the greatest of all time, no one's even close. No one. Yep, it's 2024. Nobody's close to Michael. You know what I'm saying? Last time he played was what? The 02-03 season? You know? 21 years later, nobody's even come close to Michael. He's still the greatest. Yep, it's been 21 years. It's been over 2 decades. Still, nobody's even close to him. He's still the best. It's been over 2 decades. Yep, that's the facts. Michael's the GOAT. We all know it. That's the truth. You think that's what the media, that's in their best interest? That's what they want to do? It's just, yeah, Michael's the GOAT. Yeah, he's still the GOAT. Yep. 2 decades later, still the GOAT. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Kobe is good. Yeah, we like Kobe. We appreciate Kobe. Still not Michael. Yeah, all these other players, yeah, they're doing good things. They're doing impressive things. None of them as impressive as what Michael did. But, you know, they're doing their thing. Yeah, viewership is down. You know, the most viewed game in NBA history was the 1998 finals game, Game 6. You know, where Michael Jordan hit the clutch shot to win the championship, his 6th and final championship to close out his 2nd three-peat. Yeah, that was the most viewed. Yeah, and ratings have been going down since then, just slowly declining. And it's been, the NBA isn't even anywhere near what it was before when Michael was playing because he's the true GOAT. So, yeah, we have what we have right now, but it's not nearly what it was when Michael was around because Michael was the GOAT. He was like the greatest, and nobody else has ever come to his level. And so, therefore, people aren't as entertained and aren't paying as much attention. Yeah, we try to change the rules. We try to make it a little easier so other people could try to put on Jordan-like performances. Yeah, that's what we try to do, the league. You know, they try to do little things that would help all these other players at least perform somewhat like Michael Jordan. But it's still, even with all the rules changes, even with everything we went out of our way to do, he's still, nobody as good as Michael. That's the facts. So, you know, that's the issue. That's the issue with the media and the narrative, dog. They gotta keep the narratives, dog. They gotta keep talking about what is what. You see what I'm saying? They always gotta do that. What for? What for? You see what I'm saying? Because they're afraid that if they tell the truth, then people will start getting turned off of the game. So they gotta keep They got to keep these narratives. They got to keep trying to push out this propaganda. They got to keep doing everything in their power to try to make it seem like the NBA is the best it's ever been. The players are better than they've ever been. The players are scoring more than they've ever scored. You know, their players are more skilled than they've ever been. Yeah, more skilled than Michael Jordan. Well, no, they're not. But we got to make it seem that way. We got to make it seem that way. And any players, you got to help us. Players, you got to help us. You got to help us keep this thing afloat. If you have any kind of narratives, any kind of stories, you know, anything you can push out there for us to report and try to twist the narrative. Shaq, give us something. You're the most dominant big man? Okay, great. We'll try to twist it. We'll try to spin it, you know, and make it seem like you're the most dominant center of all time. You see what I'm saying? LeBron, you're the GOAT? Oh, okay, great. That made you the greatest of all time? Okay, we're going to try to twist it. We got to spin it. Do whatever we can to try to convince everybody else that you're the GOAT. You see what I'm saying? That way we can keep people interested in this dying, failing product. You see what I'm saying? That's what they got to do. They're all out here trying to get their money. They're trying to keep their hustle going, dog. And in turn, they're denying the facts. You see what I'm saying? And in turn, they're denying the history of the game. They're denying what it actually takes to be the best players in the league. They're denying what it actually takes to have success, you know, and win championships. You see what I'm saying? And team basketball. You see, they're denying all of this. They're trying to rewrite all of this. You see what I'm saying? They have to. So they can keep this new generation of NBA fans interested in the game. Because if they did their history, if they learned their facts, if they saw that history was repeating itself, they would realize, oh no, that ain't nothing but a narrative. That's cap. That's a lie. You see what I'm saying? They would know that. And they don't want to expose that because they're afraid that if people know the truth, the NBA dies. If the NBA dies, the media reporting the NBA dies. At least a piece of it does. You see what I'm saying? All the people who make their money off of reporting the NBA, you know, they all start losing jobs, losing money, losing their hustle, dog. This is what it's about. Money, holding on to it. Fear, afraid that you might lose your money, lose your payday. You see what I'm saying? All of these players, dog, they be doing the same thing. Fear. They might lose their money, lose their payday, lose their relevance. You see what I'm saying? That's all it's about. Fear. Fear of losing something. Whether it's your relevance, you know, your importance, you know, your significance, your financial success, you know, whatever the case is. You have a fear of losing it all. So that's why you start throwing out these narratives. So you could gain some of that relevance, gain some of that significance. And LeBron is the biggest culprit of them all. You see what I'm saying? Always throwing out narratives, always trying to bring the attention to himself. You see what I'm saying? Always trying to keep himself relevant. You see what I'm saying? No matter what, he got to say something. He got to do something. You see what I'm saying? He's always got some sort of trick up his sleeve to get media attention on him. Why does he have to do it so much if he is, in fact, the GOAT? If you're the greatest, people know that. You don't got to say it. People already know it. And you don't have to keep proving it over and over. And you don't have to keep trying to keep yourself relevant over and over. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to do that. But the reason why LeBron does it is because he's afraid. You see what I'm saying? He's afraid. He's afraid he's going to lose it all. He's afraid that when he retires, everyone is going to turn their back on him. Everyone is going to forget about him. And which they probably will. You see what I'm saying? Because then it's going to give people time to start looking at the history and looking at the facts. All the narratives that he keeps spewing out and throwing out there, they're all going to start dying down. You know what I'm saying? LeBron is no longer in the league. We don't have to pay attention to him now. We don't. What for? You see what I'm saying? He ain't making us money no more. He ain't bringing attention to the league anymore. Not on that level anymore. You know what I'm saying? As long as LeBron stays in the league, he has leverage. That's why he don't want to retire. You see what I'm saying? Part of the reason. To keep his leverage over the mainstream sports media. But once he leaves, all his leverage, that's gone. And you see what I'm saying? We already, look, my guess, dog, honestly, you know, LeBron has no intention of retiring anytime soon, dog. He doesn't. He wants to use his leverage. You see what I'm saying? He wants to keep his leverage. He has no intention of retiring anytime soon. He keeps trying to throw it out there, but he knows he loses all his leverage if he retires. You see what I'm saying? So what does he want to do, dog? He wants to stay as long as possible so he can keep the attention on him, keep these narratives going as long as possible. However, that's going to be his downfall, dog, because people are already starting to notice. In the media, people are already starting to turn on him, dog, even though he's still here. You see what I'm saying? He's starting to lose his leverage even though he's still in the league. You see what I'm saying? It's not going to end well for LeBron, dog. It's not going to end well. I can guarantee that, dog. And most likely, he's going to be forced to retire. Forced. You know? Something's going to force that man to retire. Whether it's some crazy scandal, whether it's some crazy injury that leads to a crazy scandal, there's going to be something that's going to force him to just hang him up, dog. You see what I'm saying? And thus relinquish all his leverage that he has over the league and the mainstream sports media, dog. You see what I'm saying? Shaq was the original LeBron. You see what I'm saying? In terms of how he could keep the attention on himself, how he could make it seem like he was one of the greatest, at least from the center position. You see what I'm saying? But LeBron just took it way further than Shaq ever did. You see what I'm saying? He said, no, I'm not the greatest small forward. I'm not the most dominant small forward. I'm the greatest out of every player who ever played the game. You see what I'm saying? That's what he said. And then the media took that and ran with it. We all know when LeBron won his third ring, just his third, he said he was the GOAT. He won 3 rings. He said he was the GOAT. 3. Just 3. And he's the GOAT now. And his record in the finals was 3-4. 3 wins, 4 losses. He said he was the GOAT. He's the GOAT. You see what I'm saying? Why? Because, he brought a championship to Cleveland. That made him the greatest basketball player of all time. Dog, we already know how you won the championship. And we already know who hit the shot for you. And we already know you wouldn't have won if you didn't have that guy who hit the shot for you. We all know that, dog. History has been repeating itself. If you learn the history, you'll understand. Ain't nobody like Michael Jordan. Ain't nobody on that man's level, especially not LeBron. LeBron's more in the class of Wilt Chamberlain, Shaq. That's it. You know? He's more comparable to them. Guys who could put up numbers, but they really couldn't win nothing. Not till they start teaming up with people who could help them win. You see what I'm saying? Because they don't really know how to play no team ball like that. You see what I'm saying? They have to team up to be able to win. It's the only way. It's the only way they can win. Team up. Because by yourself, if you're the number one guy, the main guy, you see what I'm saying? Ain't no way you're going to lead a team to victory. You need other guys, you know, who could possibly be the main guy on their own as your number two guys. You see what I'm saying? That's who you need. You know, so you can manufacture your leadership. Manufacture it like you're the one leading your team to victory. When you're not, you know, you got guys who are really the alphas, who are really the you know, leaders of the team, and you got them on your team. You see what I'm saying? Deferring to you, taking a back seat to you. But we already know these are the same guys that step their game up and say, I don't want to lose. You see what I'm saying? If I keep this dude doing everything, we're going to lose. So I'm going to step up and I'm going to do what's necessary for us to get this win. Even if that means I got to outshine this guy I'm supposed to be taking a back seat to. Because I want to win. This dude ain't no real winner. And he don't have the dedication and the heart. And he don't put in the kind of work to be a real winner. You see what I'm saying? History has been repeating itself, dog. The only people who think LeBron James is the GOAT are the people who don't know the history of the game. They don't know the history. They think he's the first of his kind. That's what they think. He's not. He's not the first of his kind. And with the way y'all keep praising him, he's probably not going to be the last of his kind. You see what I'm saying? But he throwing out his own little narratives, his own little claims. He's always trying to control the media, have leverage. You see what I'm saying? He's always doing that to keep himself relevant. That's how you know he's not the GOAT. He not the GOAT, dog. He not the GOAT.